All right, sweet peas, we are back with another reading. Doing a pick a card, this time on relationships. Could be a love relationship or it could be another kind of relationship. We'll see what comes out. So, pile number 1 is the Aura Quartz. Pile number 2 is the Amethyst. And pile number 3 is Pineapple Quartz. I haven't actually used the Pineapple Quartz in so long. I really love this stone. Very interested to see what comes out in this pile. And I actually originally, for the Amethyst, I feel like I need to make a note of this. I originally picked the Celestite. This is a really gorgeous stone, just absolutely stunning, but it gets lost in the against this particular background, so have to come back to that one at some point. But all right, let's get going here. We'll start with pile number 1. All right, so I guess it would help if I got my candle going here. All right, so let's see here. We have the Three of Pentacles, King of Swords, the Six of Swords. We have Fearless Love, a courageous leap into the unknown. Love language, acts of service. Actions speak louder than words. I don't know if I can actually show that on YouTube. Oh my goodness. I hope nobody reports this video, but whatever. I'm going to kiss your... I never felt so attached to someone like I do with you. Ooh, I want to have kids with you. So I guess this is a romantic. Well, let's see here. Okay, so we're starting out with the energy of the Three of Pentacles, which is basically a happy group, a happy coming together, people doing well as a group. But then we have the King of Swords, and that's somebody who is very intelligent and to some degree up in their head. It is a person who has basically mastered using their intellect over their emotions. And then we have the Six of Swords, which, you know, more swords energy here. Somebody is letting something go. So I'm wondering here, is there a group where you create things together? This could be a job, or this could be, I don't know, a D&D group or something, but it feels like kids may actually be referring to creation of an idea, something creative, something that you make together, not necessarily literally children, you know, because you have fearless love here, a courageous leap into the unknown. So, you know, maybe you're up in your head quite a bit about what this group means to you, and you're trying to let something go in order to have this sort of happiness that you're looking for. Or maybe you're having a hard time finding this because you are so in your head. You need to let go of this need to control the outcome of every single situation, because not everything requires that, you know in advance exactly how it's going to go, or everybody thinks the same way, or everybody likes the same things, or everybody, you know, always follows this agenda. You know, love language being acts of service, actions speak louder than words. I'm wondering here if, you know, you think a lot, think, but then don't do. You know, you need to take some action so that you actually show how much you care. I think that's what's going on here. You need to take action. You need to do something, not just think about it. You know, and like, this card is making me, it's kind of making me try not to laugh here. I don't want to read that one out loud, but you know, it feels like this is that love language card in action. You just need to actually do a little, you know, butt kissing to get somebody to let go of whatever it is that's preventing this Three of Pentacles energy. So, you know, if you have this attachment to this group, this job, this person, whatever it is, but things just aren't quite coming together, you know, you want to create something with them, but it's not quite gelling, then let go of the overthinking and jump into action. All right, short and sweet, that's what I was aiming for. All right, let's move on to pile number 2. All right, pile number 2, the amethyst. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, so for the tarot, we start out with the Emperor, the Five of Wands, and the Lovers. Oh, that's interesting. Is this going to be... All right, so love language, affirmations. Loving words hold great power. Guided steps to great love. Follow the path of ascension. Reaching. You're trying to connect, but love eludes you. Stepping out of your comfort zone will help. There's that Five of Wands energy, right? Tired. You are emotionally exhausted from dealing with everything. You deserve a break now. Forgiving. They didn't mean to hurt you, but you are holding on to it. Forgiving helps you get past it. Love never gets lost. Time doesn't define us. You're mine only. All right. All right. Let's see here. So are you trying to stand strong in your power, which has resulted in a bit of a, let's call it a bit of a tiff that's making it really hard for you to make the decision or come together as a pair? Is that what's going on here? This does feel like a love message and not just something platonic, not just about a friend or a coworker or something like this. This feels like an actual love message because, you know, this might be family. This might be a family member. Now, the Emperor embodies all of the energies of the kings in the tarot deck. You know, he has power over pentacles, over swords, over cups, over wands, and it feels a little empty. It feels a little empty over here. There's something about it that, like, well, I'm standing strong in my power and, you know, I don't need anybody, and I think that's where the Five of Wands is kind of coming in here. There's a lot of pride. There's a lot of pride coming from that direction. But then there's desire. There's desire to come together with the other half, with the missing piece, with the one who completes you, who completes your soul in some fashion here. Now, the very first card that came out after the tarot is the love language of affirmations. Loving words hold great power. Now, affirmations aren't necessarily something you're always sharing with others, but this could be telling you that in order to achieve this lover's energy, you need to come forward, you know, guided steps to great love. You may need to actually step out of Emperor energy and just open up and say something. You know, this blockage could just be straight up being too proud to say I'm sorry, or to say what's really on your mind. You know, maybe you just haven't said anything in a while. You didn't respond to the last text message or two, the last few messages that you received. You saw you missed a phone call and you meant to get back to them, but you just never did, and it just makes you feel like you can't have this. But I think this is more illusory than real. I think that if you actually had a plan of action, you know, like you need to step out of your comfort zone to fix this. That's just the truth of it. You know, it says you're tired, you're emotionally exhausted from dealing with everything, and you deserve a break. But that's the thing is, you know, if you keep fighting it and fighting it and fighting it, and you have this energy that it's never going to happen, it's not going to work, you know, whatever. Well, if you don't forgive it, you're never going to get past it. Okay? They didn't mean to hurt you. Whatever happened that had you up in that energy where you felt you needed to step back and, you know, you can't say anything, you can't do anything. Well, you know, it was their fault, not mine, or whatever this is. Just stop. Just stop. You know, take some responsibility for it and take some steps to fix it, because I think that there's a really strong love that you're letting slip through your fingers because of pride. Okay? So remember this, love never gets lost. Time doesn't define us. So even if it's been quite a while since you've said anything, you know, of course you're not going to want to jump right back in and pick up where things, you know, where you felt like things left off. You might have to do some actual work in order to restore that love. But whatever this is, you know, there's real love here. They really care about you, and you really care about them. You're just letting pride get in the way and stopping this from moving forward and actually achieving a really beautiful union. There needs to be a little forgiveness. There needs to be a little work, reaching out, you know. And maybe you do need to take a step back and get out of your head about it quite so much to come up with that plan. You know, maybe this is where the affirmations need to come in. You know, instead of telling yourself, I'm not lovable, nobody could possibly love me, nobody cares about me the way that I deserve, and this and that, whatever. Stop. Just stop. Okay? This is real. Love exists. Love exists. And it is very powerful. You can overcome whatever this barrier is. It's just going to take a little planning and a little work and some forgiveness. And maybe that means forgiving yourself too. All right? I love you, Pile 2. I really do. I hope you find this again. All right, let's move on to Pile 3. Oops. Excuse me. Okay, Pile 3. What do we got? All right, so we have the Ace of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. Oh, that's an interesting energy. Okay. So we have reaching out. Expect a call or text from your person of interest. Perfect match. You complete each other in the most harmonious way. Burning desire. Flames of passion ignite. Goodness, goodness, goodness. The next card is guilty. There's lying or cheating going on. Maybe both. It may take a confrontation to come clean. Struggle. You feel like you aren't being supported. It's if it's not a team effort, it's best to stand alone. Conquest. Just another notch in the headboard or the real deal? Actions speak the loudest. Escape. Love is an emotional escape for you. Be sure you are getting involved for the right reasons. Let me give myself a little more room here. I was testing you this whole time. I'm seeing you in a whole new light. Your love has me looking crazy. Well, that is interesting. So the Ace of Wands is a really powerful card of new beginnings having to do with passion, with feelings, with, you know, that wand energy. You know what that is. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles where, you know, you can see the girl here is weighing her options. She's got different directions she could go in, and she's not quite sure yet which one she's going to choose. You know, and that's really funny when we're looking at perfect match over here, and then we've got burning desire, which Ace of Wands, there it is. And then we have reaching out. You can expect a call from this person. But the thing is, I don't think that this person is really the right one. I really don't. Because they're guilty of something. You know, it may be just the fact that they were, I don't know, maybe you were online dating and you were expecting to hear back from them sooner, and you know they'll come back saying, oh hey, how's it going, it's been a minute, you know, and it turns out that they didn't actually see you as their person, they just saw you as a match for now. Or maybe they had to go out and experience other relationships or other one-night stands or whatever it is they were doing, you know, this whole conquest and guilty and escape thing here. It feels very much like this isn't about being a team, this is about pants feelings. You know, maybe somebody had to go out and experience other things for a little while in order to realize that they had such a perfect match in you. But the thing is, it's so disrespectful to me if you're in a relationship with somebody, and unless everybody is in agreement, it's not right to go out and have, you know, side pieces. Like, nothing against polyamorous relationships. I think that it's totally fine as long as everybody's on board and, you know, rules are being followed and there's communication about exactly what the expectations are. But this does not feel like that. This feels more like somebody was going after new beginnings, you know, looking at all the possible options that they had available to them and, you know, fooling around with them without actually caring about their actual match. They were more interested in their desires, you know, up until they realized what they actually had. They were using desire as an escape. And for a while they saw you as just another conquest. They may even be struggling with that thought right now, that you're more than just a conquest. Or maybe they were just hoping that you would be cool with them going out and playing the field. And if you said no, that could be why they're seeing you in a new light. I think that this is more about you needing to know that if it's not a team effort, it's best to stand alone. And I'm not talking about tag teaming in bed. I'm talking about if you and this person can't come together to an agreement of what your relationship is supposed to look like. And I don't feel like, you know, one party here does not like that this is involving other parties. So if you know, no agreement can be come to about that, then this is not the one. This is not the one. This is about desire. This is about options. This is not about respect or an actual I don't like using this word for this particular reading, but it feels like this is not your twin flame. This is not your soulmate. You might be a match in bed, but you're not a match anywhere else. This feels like a test of your self-respect. What do you deserve? And I sincerely hope that it's not your energy that I'm picking up on doing all this. You know, maybe you actually do have a match, but you feel like you need to mess around and you know, explore more, when the reality is you have your person right there. Whatever it is, this is not great. I don't like this. I don't like this. I sincerely hope that, you know, again, self-respect. This is something that I think you might struggle with. And it is something that you need to consider, because if love is an emotional escape for you, you know, if love is the emotional escape, if you're thinking more about how it makes you tingle than about how it lifts you up and completes you, then this is not the one. I say this with all the love in my heart. Respect yourself, please. Respect yourself and know the difference between when somebody is only about what they're going to get out of you in the now and how they're going to scratch an itch, versus someone who wants to build a life with you, someone who wants to be there for you through thick and thin, someone who really wants to be involved with you during the good times and the bad, someone who wants to support you and help you and grow with you. You know, that I should hope would be what you're looking for. All right, so that's what I have for you, my lovely pile threes. I hope you guys all got something out of these readings, and you know, I look forward to hearing your comments, your thoughts, and if this resonated with you. Have a beautiful day.